Good afternoon, everybody in Facebook land. I promised you that I was coming back to talk to you today about Awakening 1 Million. So I first want to say happy Friday to everybody and happy Veterans Day to all of the veterans and their families out there. I wanted to get to you early today because I shared with you on Wednesday that I have an assignment for you to do this weekend. So for all of you who are seeing me for the first time, welcome to what I'm calling Awakening 1 Million. This is my attempt to awaken 1 million people to the power of the mind so that we can have an immediate impact on the energy in the world today. I started this process in response to an overwhelming number of letters that I have received where people are communicating about their fears, their stress, their anxiety, their feelings of helplessness and hopelessness about what's going on in the world today. So many of us are aware of the growing division in the human family, and that gives rise to anger and angry behavior. The recent acts of terror in Las Vegas, in New York, in Alabama, as well as the terroristic behaviors in our communities, in our schools, sometimes even in our home, not to mention the steady diet of violence against and disrespect of women and children that are being fed and that are surfacing now as these major sex scandals. You know, for some time now, we've been watching what's going on in the world, wondering, why is it going on? And in some cases, trying to figure out what to do about it. If we truly understand the principle as within, so without, we would be able to stop and pause and realize that we are individually and collectively contributing to and responsible for the energy of our world, of our environment. This means that each of us contributes in some way, to what we see and what we experience in the world. Because thoughts are things that create energy, and everything in this world has an energy. Thoughts, I believe, are prayers that go out into the world, and the energy of those prayers, of those thoughts, create the atmosphere in which we live and the experiences that we have individually and collectively. So what does that mean? It means that if we want to change the condition of the world, we must change how we think as individuals every single day, because our thoughts are creating energy. And what we think becomes the prayers in our lives that are answered. Now here's the trick. Many of us hold the belief that who we are and what we think and what we do doesn't affect anyone outside of our own little immediate world. We've been tricked into believing that if you don't have a certain amount of money, and if you don't hold a certain position, and if you don't have power and influence over many people, then what you do has no effect. Well, that is the exact reason I'm asking you to join me in improving the world and disproving that notion. There is nothing more creative and powerful than the human mind. In fact, everything we know in life, even the weapons of destruction, first began in the mind of a human being. So whether you're trying to get your bills paid on time, or find a partner for a relationship, or changing your careers, or figuring out what to wear to your cousin's wedding, what you think really does matter. So my premise is this. If one person or a small group of people can put enough of their mental power together to create an atomic bomb, I believe that 1 million people focusing on that bomb never being used is going to impact the world. I believe if one person can do that, a lot of people, a group of people coming together with a focused thought can change the tides of this world. Imagine what the minds of 1 million people could do focused on peace and justice, equality, and dare I say love. Okay? Now, I know the skeptics and the critics are going to say she's crazy. There ain't nothing we can do to change what's going on in the world. She must be up to something. Who is she? And what does she want? You know how they do on Facebook and them little things down there. In other words, they're going to generate a stream of negative thoughts about me, directed towards me, about this idea. And others are going to get captured up in that energy, and they'll jump on that bandwagon. However, I believe that there are others, hopefully 1 million others, who understand and recognize and accept that we as individuals, when joined together in collective thought, have power and impact, and that we can change this world. See, I believe you matter. I believe we matter. I believe in the power of the mind. I've seen it in my own life, and I believe in the power of prayer. I also believe that while millions and millions of us hold positive thoughts and pray, we've not been doing it collectively, holding one vision toward one goal in a focused way. And that is what this offering is all about. I'm calling for 1 million of us to get clear, to get focused, and to send a wave of powerful, focused energy out into the world, onto the planet. And that begins with cleaning up our individual minds and hearts in our own world so that we can impact the entire world. Now, on Wednesday, I shared with you that your mind is the needle and your heart is the thread that is weaving together the sacred tapestry of your life. So this is an invitation to straighten out your needle and strengthen your thread. Straighten out your needle by eliminating negative thoughts, and strengthen your thread by clearing your heart of things like fear and anger and resistance and judgment, so that in a very short time we can join together and blanket this world with an energy of our positive mind and feelings. Now, just so you know that I'm not totally alone in this craziness that I'm offering, I found this book. I want to show it to you. I found this book. You see this book? Words Can Change Your Brain. Do you see that? It's by Andrew Newberg and Mark Robert Waldman. And they are neuroscientists, okay? Their work is about how the words we think and speak impact our consciousness, our communication, and trust in our lives. Now, this is what they say. I turned this little page down. It's because I wanted to tell you what they say so that you wouldn't think that I was totally crazy. It says, new research demonstrates that subliminal messages can unconsciously influence thoughts, feelings, and actions. For example, words and phrases repeated at a volume you can barely perceive can create changes in your mood. Negative words stimulate stress and anxiety, while positive words can lower it. Studies consistently show that the brain gives more attention to negative words. It's right here. Look, I circled it. See that? That the brain gives more attention to negative words even when we are not aware that we have heard them. Okay? This reinforces the argument that even the subtlest form of negativity can sour your life and your relationship. By changing the way you use language, the way you think, you change your consciousness, and that in turn influences every other thought, feeling, and behavior in your life. Okay? Words can change your brain, all right? So you don't think it's just me. Now, understanding this as I do, I ask you to begin documenting the negative thoughts that you catch running through your mind. We started that on Tuesday. I had 57 negative thoughts. I wrote them down on a piece of paper, okay, in my little book. My book is upstairs because that's where I spend most of my time. But my theory is that if we can become aware of how many negative thoughts we have and how many we think, and if we can recognize our own individual thoughts, that they're influencing our life and our family and our loved ones, we'll have clear evidence that we can change our mind and change our lives. But we can and will also change the energy that we put into the world. Because what you think goes out in the world. They say what you breathe, the air you breathe today will be in Japan tomorrow. So you might want to get a copy of this book so you can study the science behind what I'm saying. This is scientific. Think of it this way. If you're thinking a negative thought about yourself or someone else, negative thoughts that you don't even know you're thinking, and if you're holding those negative thoughts in a place in your brain about other people, about money, about world politics, you are putting a prayer out into the universe that is going to be answered. Now, if we take on the responsibility of changing how we think about ourselves, our exes, our co-workers, if we can stop thinking fear-laced thoughts and anger-based thoughts, if we can stop judging things and people and focusing our thoughts in our individual lives, it stands to reason that we'll have an impact on the world. And who will benefit? You will. We all will. Why? Because thoughts are things that create energy. And again, don't believe me. Please, don't believe me. Think I'm crazy. Write me off. But I've been reading another book. Let me show it to you. Now, I just got this book. It's called The Wisdom of Sundays. And this is another book where Oprah Winfrey has collected some of memorable quotes from the people she's interviewed on Super Soul Sunday. And you know, she's interviewed everybody in the world on Super Soul Sunday. See my little things here? So listen to this. This is what I found in here so that you don't think it's just me, because I know it'll be easy to dismiss me. This is what I found. It says, we are vibrational beings, not just flesh and blood. If you put anything under the microscope, you're going to ultimately see that everything is vibrating. Everything is vibrating. Everything is moving. Yeah? And as the scientists are now telling us, just like those other scientists, there's information in that movement. It's not solid. It's always moving. So we're vibrational. So as we say, when we lift our vibration to what we want to experience, it happens first on the vibratory level, and then it shows up and manifests in our world. So people who are holding rancor, animosity, fear, they are slowing down our vibration. Now, I know you do not want to be slowing down our vibration. That was Michael Bernard Beckwith. But wait a minute, because I know y'all know he's my friend. So listen to this. It's an incredible principle. I don't think that people realize what follows I am. When you say I am, you're inviting things into your life. You know, you say, I'm tired, I'm frustrated, I'm lonely. You have invited those things in. So the principle is to turn it around and invite in what you want in your life. I got that right out of The Wisdom of Sunday. See that? Know who that was? Joel Osteen. But wait a minute. I still want you to believe me. Okay? Listen to this one. The real truths of life are never entirely new to you, because there is a level deep down within you where you already know all things. You already know all things. Oh, I love that. Yeah? And all of those spiritual truths that you hear about and read about, you recognize them. When you open your mind, you recognize them. It's an awakening. I didn't even read this before I said I wanted to awaken 1 million people. It's an awakening. It is not new information. That was Eckhart Tolle. So, right here in The Wisdom of Sunday, this thing is like a little baby, a mini spiritual encyclopedia. Everybody's in there, and they talk about everything we need to know every single day. I will get you a copy. It's on sale on Amazon. But anyway, then there's this other thing I found. I had to write it down because I don't have the book. The book is on my Kindle. But this is from a book called Flip It, How to Get the Best Out of Everything by Michael Hippel. Okay, I don't know him, but listen what I found. Isn't your brain wonderful? Isn't your brain wonderful? It contains, are you ready? 1 billion neurons, and it is capable of dealing with trillions of thoughts in one day. Yet, most of your brain is sitting around twiddling its thumbs, waiting for something to do. By asking yourself questions rather than taking situations as a given and final, you give your brain a boost that opens up new doorways and awakens you to new information. Right here, the book is called Flip It, How to Get the Best Out of Everything, because I didn't want you all to think I was just making this up. So based on that, we're going to straighten out our needles, our minds. We're going to strengthen our thread, our hearts, so that we can weave a tapestry of peace and unity and love and joy and all that good stuff that we want in our individual lives and our collective lives. See, my t-shirt says, I could see peace instead of this. I could see peace instead of the hysteria in the world, but that means I got to change my mind. So you have an assignment this weekend, all right? At the top of my Facebook page, the Dr. Iyanla Vanzant page, not the other page. People have been hacking my pages. I got about 55 pages out there. Look for Dr. Iyanla Vanzant. There is a prayer, okay? Hopefully you've been praying that prayer and taking track of your negative thoughts that have been running through your mind. I'm telling you, I have 57 of them. You have the prayer. Now, I'm going to invite you to take that prayer and ask yourself some questions so that you can elevate your individual vibration, which will have an impact on our collective vibration. And then we're going to put some power behind that, okay, at that vibration. We're going to put some power behind the I am. And we're going to call what we want into desire, because that's what they said in Wisdom of Sundays. That's what they said in How Words Can Change Your Life, all right? So as soon as I finish this, at the top of my page, I'm going to post some questions, 12 questions. I told you I needed 20 minutes of your weekend. I want you to pray the prayer at the top of the page. Take a few deep breaths. Yeah? And answer those questions. They're about you. They're personal. They're private. But it's going to bring you to an awareness of what's going on in your mind. Don't make it hard. Just read the question, answer the question, go on to the next question. And then, but you're going to have an awareness. Pray the prayer, take some breaths, answer the questions. I mean, really go for it. Tell yourself the truth, okay? Tell yourself the truth so we can straighten out your needle and strengthen your thread. Dig into your mind and your heart, and then you'll have a new awareness. Because remember, you really do know this stuff, but, you know, like Eckhart said, we think we don't. But once you have an awareness, that's when we can begin to make some changes. Some of us just don't realize what we're doing because we're so busy telling the story about who did what and how they did it and when they did it and why they did it. So moving forward, I want you to do that assignment this weekend. Now, I'm going to come back to you Monday, and we're going to do something else next week so we can take that awareness to a higher vibration and get this thing together. Impact the world. Change the world. We can do it. Remember, 2, 3, 5 people made atomic bombs. What can 1 million people do to create some stability and peace and unity and love and harmony in this world? That is awakening 1 million people. That's what I'm doing. I know you think I'm crazy, but words can change your brain. Anyway, moving forward, I'd like to send you some information about some other stuff that I'll be doing, awakening the 1 million people in consciousness, awakening 1 million conscious and empowered souls. So if you're interested in that, you can sign up for my mailing list at iyanla.com, IYANLA.com. And if you don't want to hear from me, that's okay. But you can still do this work. This work right here is free, and it's going to help you in your life. I don't want nothing from you. It's going to help you. And all of my dreamers out there, the people that did the Be the Dream process with me at the beginning of the year, I want to encourage you, do it again. Do it again right now. You have everything that you need to walk back through that program so that you can become really clear and aware about your victories and your changes, and that you can make the necessary adjustments now that we're heading into the end of the year. If you want to know the end, look at the beginning. You did some good work at the beginning of this year. We worked together for 30 days? I don't know how long it was. All the Be the Dreamers out there, go back, do the program again. Use your same information, do the program. And I'll be back on Monday with the next leg of this journey to awaken 1 million people. Have a blessed weekend. Oh, yeah. Oh, don't forget to join me tomorrow, Saturday, 9 p.m. for Iyanla Fix My Life on the Oprah Winfrey Network, OWN Network. This is going to be the first of 3 episodes where I walk 4 men. These 4 men were sentenced to life in prison, 20 years to life in prison when they were teenagers. Okay? They were teenagers and they got sentenced to life. And now they're out and they are rebuilding their lives, and their stories and their work is incredible. Okay? I know all of us know somebody or have known of somebody who's been incarcerated and has a hard time readjusting. And there's a whole program about it on OWN called Release. But I'm working 4 men, 4 or 5. Oh my God, I can't even remember. All right, let me get off of here. I've already taken up too much of your time. Thank you. Have a blessed and glorious weekend.